Do you have any questions for me, Davion?
Only about Julia.
All right, what kind of Julia question you have?
Okay, so you know the end, that formula for the Newton method.
Right.
Okay, I type. Do we type all that together or like line by line?
Okay. So you need to write a function that does it for you. Like when you do it, you have to write them one at a time. Remember, I have to do s of 1 is equal to s of 0 minus f of x of 0. You know, you have to write this on one by one, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I want when you write a function for the project. So when you look at the tutorial for the Academy, the Julia Academy tutorials, you will see they were using a for loop. You can using a for loop or you can using a while loop. So you need to use those. Instead of writing that again and again, you just write, you need to put that inside the while loop. So you can do while, say absolute value of x of, for your case, probably like whatever I, x of, like say I minus 1 is less than equal to tolerance, then you can do the things that you need to do. Okay.
So
So
what function is you using? Because I was using x squared minus 5x plus 4.
yeah, that is fine. You can use that one. But you need to declare that function outside. You need to use that equation outside of your function. Like you're gonna use f of x equal to x what square minus 5 times x plus 4. That's what we have, right? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
You also have f prime. Yes, you can use those. So those are the one example one that you're gonna use. So if I give you different example, different equations, you can still need your function still needs to work. Okay, when you write a function means that the Newton's function that you're writing, they call Newton's method. They will work with any kind of functions that I give.
Okay, but when I typed in the function, I think it just said Newton method generic function with one method and nothing else popped up. So
You need to write that function. Newton's method is a function that you need to write. That is the project of special project. You are using 13 Julia functions. You are writing a function called Newton's method. Remember when you look at my project descriptions, I said you need to write your code in there. So that is your job to write it.
I wrote it in there, but boy, be quiet. Nothing else popped up. I'm finna just send you what I did.
Nothing is there because you need to write a code inside the Julia. You need to write it. So I'm calling you. So Newton's method takes 4 arguments, not one argument. That's 4 arguments taking up. Okay. And then I'm gonna say, I'm gonna define what x1 is. So this is what I gave you guys so far. Okay. And then you gotta use a while loop or whatever you decide to use. For my case, I'm gonna use if statement. So if absolute value of, so that is your choice. What kind of stuff you wanna use? You can use for loops, while loops, whatever you wanna use. So I'm gonna start with the if statement. Like that, then I'm gonna do my stuff. I'm gonna say, okay, see, I don't wanna write a function for you. This is where you're gonna write your code. Write code here, then end. And I'm gonna return x1, 1 minute. I'm gonna call return. I mean, you don't even have to return. If you want, you can just end. If you want to, you can do print statements. So you know what's printing. Print. All right, so that's what you get. Okay, Newton's method, genetic function with the one method. So which means you have a one method inside. I only have a one method. I don't have many methods. But it takes 4 arguments. But you cannot use Newton's method. If I use right now the Newton's method, f and f prime, this does not iterate it. It only give you first one. If I press this one, I don't get anything right now, actually, because, oh, excuse me, I made a mistake because okay, so if I plug it in, it will give me only one time, 6.75, which is not correct. My new approximation is 6.75. So my x1 is 6.75. All right, but that's not what I want. All right, so this part right here, write your code here. That's the place you need to write your code. You know, the individual lines that you wrote, do not make it to be individual line anymore, but you gotta use the for loops. So example, for I in 1 to 10, print so now it's printing the number 1, the number 2, the number 3. See, they give you the number is 1, the number is 2, the number is 3. They're giving you all that. So you need to do this. So this is a for loop. Okay, the number is 1, the number is 2, the number is 3, the number is 4. I'm doing a for loop. So you need to use for loop or while loops or something. Remember, that's why I want you guys to watch the Julia Academy, so you will have the basic concept of a for loops or while loops or things like that, how to write a function. So what you need to do is, if you guys need a little more time doing your Julia project, I can extend your due date to maybe end of this month. So you need to use like for loops, while loops or something. All right, give me 1 minute, you guys. Actually, wait, you need to show me. All right, you guys. Hey, Ethan, how are you? Okay, so do you see what I'm talking about? So you need to use, so I'm gonna create a function test. I'll maybe take, say, F, text on the F. All right, and then I'm gonna say, for I in 1 to 10, and I'm going to say F of I, print the function value F, I think I, so I'm going to try. So the function value at 1 is 1. The function value at 2 is 2. 3 is a 3. So I'm plugging in. So this is what I have. Okay. So I am not, what I want is not exactly what I hear. So I want to okay, so now I want to give me answers. So it gives me, it's evaluating for me. The function value at 1 is 1. The function value at 2 is -2. The function value at 3 is -5. The function value at 4 is -8. They're giving me your answers. Okay. So this function that I wrote, this test function that I wrote here, okay, I use a for loop. I asking that calculate x. I'm replacing x as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way to 10, and it's evaluating for me. Remember, my function is this function right here. So it's evaluating for me. When you plug it in 1, so 1 minus 5, which is -5 plus 4. It's 1 plus 4, 5. 5 minus 5 should be 0. 1 should be 0. I don't know why it gives me a 1. So it is not calculating correct. So let me see, f of 1. Why is f of 1 is 1? X times x squared. X squared is what? 1. 1 minus 5 is -4. Negative plus 4 should be 0. So it is not calculating true. Whatever the reason, it is not calculating true. Let's just see why it's not calculating right. So my function is x squared minus 5 times x plus 4. So f of 1 should be 0. Okay. So now let's run this one again. Okay, now it's correct. So the function value at 1 is 0. The function value at 2 is -2. The function value at 3 is -2. Okay, so it gives you that.
About the this one
Yeah, because I put that into my office.
from this algebra.
So get the Apple console from Miss Alexander's office to put it into my office.
So she know I'm coming.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So, are you following me, class? By the way, that is why I wanted to watch that Julia. Okay, without the watching that Julia, you cannot really write a function. So I just wrote a simple function for you. So this is one function that I wrote. Okay, so I can do another test. So I'm going to say function test 2. And this time I'm going to say, okay, okay, say this one takes all that. Okay, so now I'm going to also write it like I do. But I'm not going to write it all of them because I want you to study and learn. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, if absolute value of 1 minus absolute value of 0 is greater than equal to tolerance, I'm going to do different things. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, I'm going to calculate new one. I would say 1 to 10. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm just creating something. I don't want you to do this way. Okay, this is not the best way. Okay, so I don't know it's gonna work because I just made it myself, but let me explain to you what I was doing. If it does work, I will explain to you. So I'm gonna do test F and F prime. Okay, method, no method matching a test type. Oh, I need to do test 2, excuse me. By the way, you see, I used the test. My test, the function that I create, the function that I create is only takes one method, but one argument, which is f. All right, but my new test that I create, which is called test 2 right here. Okay, test 2 takes 4 arguments. So now I'm gonna try test 2 and see what does it do. So it may take a long time because it's gonna do 5 times of 5 times 5 times 20 times. So it's going to the loop. It's not calculating what I think it should calculate. So it's not working the way it's supposed to. But important part is you need to put the things in here like I do. See what I wrote here? Okay, this is what I expect you to write. So this is what I need to say. Right here. You need to write your code right here. This is what you need to do. Okay, so if you're not so sure how to write a function, that's why I want you to work with Wade or Quincy. They know how to program. All right, so you need to learn, or you can watch the Julia Academy. Make sure that you understand how to write a if statement, a for statement, or a while statement. You need to do that. Like a while statement would be probably the easiest thing to do. All right, so I use the if statement. So I say if the tolerance, so this is incorrect one actually. This. If the absolute value is greater than equal to tolerance, I'm keep going to do my iteration. That iteration goes right here. Okay. So have you worked with the Quincy and Wade? Yes or no? Okay, because I will know whether you work with them or not, because each time you see your peer-to-peer leaders, they're supposed to fill out a Google form and saying who came to that peer-to-peer session. So I tally those. Okay, end of the semester, I'm gonna tally those and see how many people show up and how many persons attended the peer-to-peer leader session. Remember, I told you that would be part of your grade. So, for example, right now, let me see. So how many people been showing up? So let me see. Let me see. Where is my phone? Okay, some reason I cannot find that. Let me see. I'm gonna send you guys. Let me see, because I have that. some reason I don't see that right now. I'm waiting. Just give me a minute so I can see you guys. Okay, there's the one. Let me show you. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing so I can share other screen now. Okay, so I keep up with your who's showing up. Like the avian showed up 43 times. So this is part of your grade. So if you want to bring up your grade and also do your semester project well, I'll definitely encourage you to go see your peer tier leaders. So your number was showing how many times you show up will be increased. Right now, the avian is the one consistently showing up. She showed up 43 times. India showed up 20 times. Shalia Nelson showed up 24 times. You see this number? They recorded each time you show up, which I told you beginning of a semester that I will count peer leader session as a part of your grade. All right, so it's not too late. And also it can help you with your project. So I expect you guys to start going and increase this number. All right, some of you guys only showed up, like some person didn't even show up even one time. Okay, so I expect you guys to start showing up and bring up your grade. Okay. Right, good. All right. So anybody have any questions about the peer tier leader things? Excuse me, you guys. Yes, log out. I mean, what I mean to log out. Okay, give me 1 minute, you guys. And wait, one more thing. I need just to double check. Do you have my iPad list that I gave you before? You don't know whether you have it. Okay, because they told me it couldn't happen because the iPad number for some of the stuff is not there, but I listed. They can mess up. So they're talking to make sure that the serial number is correct. So I can email you and look at the serial number, make sure that's correct. All right, you guys give me 1 minute. All right, so let me see what you guys doing. So anybody have a questions right now, what to do about it? Okay, so let me see your face so I know exactly who is here, or make sure that you say I'm here. So I can also do that, your attendance. So let me ask, do you know how to write a program, Julia program? If you do, say yes. If you don't, say, I need help. Write down, I need help. Because the ones who said I need help, I'm gonna make sure that you see Wade or Quincy. Pair up with them and understand how to write a function. Okay, when you do come, I'm gonna make sure, ask them to put your name under right there so your number will increase. Like some of you guys didn't even meet the minimum number. Okay, so you don't want this to reduce your score. You want this to increase your score. All right, I told you I'm gonna do peer-to-peer leaders, and I also assigned your leaders. And I also said, if you cannot meet with your peer-to-peer leaders, you can see any of them. Whatever the reason you cannot go 9 to 10, yes, you can go 12 to 1. If you cannot go 12 to 1, yes, you can go 5 to 6. But if none of those work, and you can always DM Wade or Quincy and Micaiah says, hey, can you help me? They will work with you. All right, I told you about that. Okay, this is already past midterm, and you only have like a month and a half, not even a month, it's a month and a half, it's a month and a half left. Okay, you don't want to fail this class. This is a 5-hour class. Okay, if you fail a 5-hour class, it will dramatically lower your grade. Okay, you guys? So I advise you now, make sure you go see your peer-to-peer leaders and do your work. And some of you guys have not done your assignments, and your assignment grade is a failing grade. That is not acceptable. Assignments, you can always bring it up. And I also ask you to write me an email or send direct message through Gradebook, say asking for extension, and say, Dr. Harris, please give me extension to so and so on, so date. And I say, I will give it to you. You just have to give me an excuse and say, I will work hard to bring up my grade. That would be good for me. That can be an excuse. But just give me an excuse and how you're gonna bring up your grade. If some of you guys is passing, great. Some of you guys making A's, great. Okay, but some of you guys not doing well. So you need to gear up, okay? You need to study and bring up your grade. You only got a month and a half. All right, anybody have any questions so far? Okay, so, okay, I do see a lot of people say I am here and I need help. Okay, so students who say you need help, I'm gonna send this information to Wade and Quincy. So you will go meet with them, you understand? So the ones who said I need help, I want you to send a direct message to Quincy or Wade, okay, and work with them. And I'm also going to give you a little more time. I'm gonna give you a little more time for your project. So project is supposed to be due tomorrow, but I will give you end of this month to do your project. So you got time to work with your peer-to-peer leaders to make sure that you know how to write it. All right. And also, if you need to see me, you may come see me Tuesdays. I'm here in office on Tuesday. After this class, I usually go to my office. So you may come see me also. All right, just make sure that you wear your mask and then come see me. All right, so I got you that. So now, class, I am going to continue 4.2 that we didn't finish. So give me 1 minute, you guys. All right, let's continue today's lesson. So, all right, so 4.2, I'm gonna go over the 4.2. So I'm gonna start my sharing my screens. So I will do this. So 4.2, we're gonna use Julia also. Okay, so let's just use the same function again. F of x is equal to x squared minus 5 times x plus 4. That's what I have. Okay, so, well, actually, let's just use easy functions because I don't want you guys to, I'm just going to use x squared. That's my function. That everybody knows what x squared looks like. Okay, this is what x squared looks like. Okay, Then I'm doing a 4.2, you guys. Okay, 4.2. So if I want to find an area under the curve, okay, so I want to find the area under the curve right here. Okay, I want to find this area. Okay, but right now I don't know how to do it because I haven't learned integration. I say I haven't learned calculus. So I want to do this numerically. Okay, numerically. So numerically means I'm gonna draw a rectangle. Let's say we're gonna draw 2 rectangles. Oops. 2 rectangles. Okay, so I'm gonna draw 2 rectangles. I'm gonna do upper sum and a lower sum. So lower sum means I'm using this. This is my 2 triangle. 2 rectangle. So if I draw 2 rectangles here, which is this part and that. Okay, look at that. Your 2 rectangles is definitely smaller than the true answer. Why? You can see this part is not included and that part is not included. So the red rectangle, which is called lower sum, the lower sum does not include the part of the missing part. So it's called lower sum. Lower sum means the summation of these 2 rectangles is actually smaller than true answers. So how would you find that? You wanna find, how do you find the rectangle answer? Rectangle is what? Find me a first rectangle. The first rectangle, how would you find the rectangle anyway? Area is what? Width times, length times width, right? So I need to know what this width is. What's this width? That width is what? How do you find it? This is how you do. You find the width, b minus a divided by n. Okay, so I will tell you what b means. The n number is a b. The starting number is a. All right, and the n means number of rectangle. Okay, so number of rectangle. So my case then, 2 minus 1 divided by 2, which gives me 1/2. So my width, the width of this triangle, this rectangle is 1/2. Okay, that's 1/2. So if you want to do this problem, okay, so what do you know? The first rectangle would be then equal to 1/2 my width times my height. Height is f of which number? This is my height. That's my height. Okay, that's my height, which is f of 1. So I'm gonna put it in my Julia. So I'm gonna find the first rectangle. That was area of first rectangle. I'm gonna do what then? 1.5, 0.5 times g of 1. That gives me 0.5. So my area of this is 0.5. What about the second rectangle? The second rectangle would be my height is this. What is my height? Right there is 1.5. So I'm gonna find the area of a second rectangle is 0.5. The width is still 0.5. Now I'm gonna evaluate 1.5. It gives me 1.125. Okay, so I got it. So my total area, the lower sum, so lower sum is equal to area 1 rectangle plus area 2 . Did I not spell right? What's my spell wrong? Rectangle. So 1.625 is area of this. Those two, the lower sum together is 1.625. Now, let's do upper sum. So upper sum means I'm gonna do let me clear all that. Okay, so now I'm going to upper sum. I'm gonna use upper sum using a different color. I will use a green color. So upper sum means I'm still using a two rectangles. So this time I'm gonna draw upper sum. So look at that. This is called upper sum because these two rectangle is bigger than actual under the curve area. All right, so this time the B minus still, this is B, still this is A. So B minus A over N, which is still my rectangle is two rectangles, okay? So my width is equal to 2 minus 1 divided by 2, still 1/2. Okay, so my first rectangle, this green one, first rectangle is equal to 1/2 times f of which number? Remember, this is my height right here, which is what? 1.5. So f of 1.5. Excuse me, I should say g. Excuse me, I made a g. Since this function is a g. So g of 1.5. I already know what g of 1.5 because I found it right here. All right. So the second rectangle is 1/2 g of what? What's this number over here? What is this one? How do you get this number? That would be what? 2, isn't it? So g over 2. So I'm gonna say, I can say green. Green area. One, it'll be same thing. 0.5 times g of 1.5, which is 1.125. And green area 2 would be what? 0.5 times g of 2, which gives me 2. So they told me this area right here is 1.125. Area over here is 2.0. So what's the total one? This case is upper sum. Upper sum is green area 1 plus green area 2, which gives you 3.125. So together, upper sum is equal to 3.125. Okay, and the lower sum was what? Lower sum is 1 to 5. So true answer is between lower sum and upper sum. The lower sum was 1.625 in true area is less than or equal to 3.125. So I want you to utilize Julia to do your work. Okay, I'm gonna go over homework problem with you tomorrow. Well, I can do one with you right now, actually. So let's look at the homework problem. All right, so when you look at this, for example, if you want to do this, okay, this problem right here, it'd be so much easier if you use a Julia. In Julia, you can say 4 okay, if you do this in Julia, you can do this. 4i in 1, 2, 6, and then say, what do you want to do? I want to do what? 8i plus 9. Okay, each time you get the number, so what do? You want to add them. Or if you don't want to use Julia at all, okay, say you just want to do this one, what do? You can do one by one. You can just say 8 times 1 plus 9, you get number, which is 17. Next one would be 8 times 2 plus 9, you get a what? 16 plus 9, you get a what? 25, so on, and you finish when it's 6. Okay, so I don't worry about those. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about right here. Okay, these, they gave you how many rectangles to make, and they also gave you A and B. Okay, so this is what you need to know. This is B is 5, A is 3. All right, so your width is equal to B minus A over 2, which is 5 minus 3 over 2, which is 2 over 2, which is 1. The width is 1. So each one is just the 1. If it's only 2 rectangles, but how many rectangles do they want? 4. So I need to change that into 4 here. So they told you to use 4 rectangles. I need to change that into n, which is 4, which gives you 1/2. So your width is 1/2. So each width right here is 1/2. All right, but now I want you to remember, how do you find this f, the height? That would be g of 3. How do you find height of this? Since it's a half increment, so right here, that number is 3.5. That number right here is a 4.5. So this would be g of 3.5. This right here is g of 4. right here is G of 4.5. So you're gonna have those. So if you wanna do this problem, okay, in Julia, so this is what you do. All right, so I'm gonna show you. So this is what you have. Okay, so your function is g of x squared minus x minus 1. They told you a equal to 3, b equal to 5, and n equal to 4 rectangles. So my first rectangle, the area 1, I'm just going to say area 1 is equal to what? You already know, you calculated that happened to be what number was it? 0.5? 0.5 times g of 3.5, and area 2 would be same thing. Would it start with a 3 or 3.5? Okay, so 3.5, this is 3.5, and the first one should be, okay, first one should be 3. All right, so area 3, the third rectangle would be the same thing, 0.5 times what? G of 4, area 4 is equal to 0.5 times G of 4.5. So I found the 4 rectangles, area 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to say lower sum, because there's a smaller sum. Lower sum would be what? Area 1 plus, area 2 plus, area 3 plus, area what? 4 equal. So that would be my 48.48 is my area of the lower sum. If I want to do upper sum, I will go all the way to what? Let's look at the other picture. Now for the upper sum. Okay, upper sum would be what? I'm going to do that to be my upper sum. So that's my height. That would be my G of first one, which is 3.5. Next height, G of 4. Next height, 4.5. Next height, G of 5. So the upper sum, you have exactly the same thing. You got 3.5, 3, 4, 4.5, you already calculated. So the only thing you need to calculate is this, G of 5. So you can go back. So I can just say area 5. I'm going to call it area 5 because the very last one is a 0.5 times G of 5. Okay, so your upper sum would be, you're going to do area starting with a 2 plus area of 3 plus area of 4 plus area of 5. Then you get this, 63. So looking at this, the true answers the true solution, true area is between, what number is that, 63? Between 48. That's your lower sum. That's your upper sum. Okay, so that's it for the day. All right, you guys, that's it for the day. And you have to study, okay? So integration is actually easier than derivative because you already learn all the techniques and you're just going backward. Okay, so area, finding a area under the curve numerically, the one that you just did is called Riemann sum. The Riemann sum is finding area under the curve numerically, okay, numerically. So use Julia to do your work, so it'll be easy on you because you can write down the name and then you can add them together and you get your answers, okay? Or you can use for loops if you want to. So study how to do for loops, study how to do while loops, study how to do if statement. That will help you to do your project, all right? If you cannot do yourself, get the help from peer-to-peer leaders, all right? And also you may come see me on Tuesdays because I'm in office on Tuesdays. It's easier for me to help you one-on-one in a person than through the Zoom because I cannot see your screen and it's kind of hard to do it, all right? So I will see you guys tomorrow and have a good day.